Good morning. Thank God for the heaters last night. It was pretty darn cold. I don't know how cold it was exactly, but the water in the dog bowl froze last night, so it was pretty cold. Yep. Oh. Okay, take two. She's peeing right there. Good morning. It's what day is it? I think it's Tuesday. Yeah, we had a pretty chilly night last night on the playa. I don't know how cold it got, but it was the dog water bowl was frozen this morning when we got up, and Joe's faucet I think is frozen solid too. So it was definitely pretty cold last night, and unfortunately poor Joe, his heater aired out last night, and I think it's because his tube is just a 3-inch tube, but it's really long. So we'll probably try and shorten his tube today so he doesn't freeze tomorrow night or tonight. But man, it was quiet out here on the playa last night. It was so cool. Amazing stars. We were all hanging out around the campfire, enjoying some whiskey and New Year's. Today's the 1st. Whoa, this is bizarre. It's 2025 today. Holy cow. You'd have told me when I was a kid I was gonna see 2025, I'd have been like, what? That's crazy. Where's Buck Rogers and the flying cars? I don't know. But yeah, we just kind of packed up the tent, and looks like Brian's got his tent packed up, packing up our heater and everything. We'll get rolling here in just a bit. I think we're gonna have an easy breakfast this morning. Oh,
chilaquiles verdes.
Oh, with carnitas. Oh man, pretty cool. Just a little bag lunch, bag breakfast today. Nothing fancy, but those things taste really good sometimes. I'm a fan.
I'm just trying to reinstall the bump stops I removed, but in typical fashion, Cooper insists on trying to help every time I'm under the Jeep. He's my helper, whether I like it or not.
All right, so everybody's had breakfast. Everything's packed up, and we're ready to get the wagons on the trail again. So I think we're heading up to a place called the Megaphone. Never seen that before. Hopefully it'll be a good day, man. The weather is amazing. There's not even a breeze out here. Last night on the playa was completely calm. We are lucking out. But yeah, a couple of things I noticed is I had pulled one of the rubber bump stops off the rear axle when I put the taller springs in. And as you can see, this is hilarious. I put the taller springs in, but then we loaded up with a tent. And again, I'm squatting in the back even with the 4.5-inch springs. So we're definitely gonna be wanting to go with a lighter setup on, if we do a rooftop tent and awning, we've got to cut the weight on that. We just can't go with this heavy of a system. So we'll figure that out, but you can even see rear tire squashed, front tires not so much. Even though they're all aired down to about 17 PSI, they've been that way since we got on the dirt. Poor Brian, man, he hit something pretty hard, and definitely it looks like bent maybe one of the spindles on the axle, and we're almost thinking about just flipping it over at 180 to see if that would stand it back up. But it's holding up. It's working great considering how harsh this trail has been. I'm blown away at how well that trailer does. That is amazing. Kind of envious in a way. But yeah, we got some more figuring and tuning to do before we're all dialed in. I just haven't had time. We'll do a bunch of that when we get back. One of the things about these roads that cross around out here is you're crossing washes a lot, and it feels like a road where, oh man, just open it up and go flying through here. But what you end up running into when a wash crosses is something that looks like this. So if you're cruising through here at like 45 miles an hour and anything other than like a long arm kit with coilovers and set up for the Baja 1000, you'd hit one of those washes and probably total your rig, and then you'd really be hosed out here. So you just got to kind of not tiptoe through here, but you got to be on your game, watching and paying attention, because those things sneak up on you and it can be pretty gnarly.
As we exited the playa on the north end via EMHT Segment 3, known as Rocky Ridge to Fenner Road, we passed by Hidden Valley Wash toward the Mojave Desert Megaphone. The trail seems to be really smooth, but for the exception where more recent runoff had crossed the road and created deep grooves that you just need to take with caution. The sky seems so big as it stretches expansively above, spanning from one mountain range to another and covering the entire valley. You just feel so small. I am genuinely curious about how the landscape transforms during heavy rainfall, when the channels across the road flood, temporarily turning the arid landscape into gushing riverbeds. That's gotta be amazing.
So cool thing, Joe is using Onyx Off-Road. He planned this whole thing using Onyx Off-Road, and the cool thing about that is that when he sets up basically the whole trip, itinerary, everything, he can literally just send me the GPX files, whatever it is, and we can share that stuff back and forth, which is pretty awesome. And you can see a lot of the places that we're going to have tags on them, right? Like we're going to this megaphone place and stuff like that. These are things that you can actually see on Onyx Off-Road, and you can plan your route around those landmarks or whatever they are. And then you can also create your own landmarks. You know, if you come across something, you want to freaking put a waypoint down on it because you discovered something cool, like a campsite or whatever it is, and you can share that with your friends. So, you know, if you haven't tried Onyx Off-Road yet, you might want to give it a shot. It's pretty awesome, and there's a link in the description for a discount. So yeah, check it out, guys.
This megaphone is a rusty hunk of metal stuck into a rocky outcropping. No one has been able to identify what exactly this thing is. It's a mystery. Some say it might have been a siren. That's unlikely. Some say part of a rocket system or a venturi for a pipeline. Some say it might be a gun sight due to the crosshairs inside, and some say it might have been a measuring device for shock and sound waves. The Nevada nuclear weapons test site isn't too far away, and it seems to point in that direction. There's nothing and no one for miles around. It's definitely a riddle as to how this heavy, roughly 8-foot long thing got up here. No one knows how long it's been here either. The best guess is that it was put up here about 30 plus years ago. Frankly, I think somebody put it up here for fun.
Doing a hike up to this crazy looking thing called the Megaphone. It is pretty crazy looking too, but we parked down below, and man, I need to get back on the bike, guys. I am really out of shape here. What are you doing, Kaya? You good girl? Are you following me, baby girl? Oh, got a sticker on my shoe. I can feel it. Oh, at least I thought I did. Oh well. Yeah, this hike is pretty cool, but you see the megaphone up there. I'm always doing things the hard. Yeah, I definitely got a sticker on my sock here somewhere. Oh well, I'll get to that later. You good girl, Kai? Huh? It's not a terrible hike. Cool view from up here though. Pretty awesome. Oh yeah. This is cool. The megaphone. What the heck is... So, I guess they call this thing the megaphone. See, can you guys see the American flag up here?
No? Yeah?
It's right there. But I don't know how it works. How they got this up here and mounted it, drilled holes in the rock, it's pretty crazy. Maybe you're supposed to gong it. I don't know.
Things are getting even more desolate now. This really is the quintessential definition of a desert in my mind. You know, those images you conjure up in your head with the leading character dragging themselves across the barren landscape, hallucinating mirages that look like an oasis of water and palm trees? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. This is just awesome. And the best part, there's no washboard. This is just smooth, pillowy, soft sand. It sure doesn't feel like California anymore. Okay, I got a little carried away there.
This is a buried boxcar that is literally buried in the ground. And I'm assuming that that's been buried a really long time because it's pretty rusty. Man.
There's a POI.
Wow. That's pretty crazy. So I'm guessing that was probably sitting in the riverbed for years and it just got buried after years of washes or something. That's all I can think of. There's not much left of it. Oh, look at this piece right here is made of something that doesn't corrode. That's crazy. A buried boxcar. Trippy.
Noel had taken the reins on navigation once we left the megaphone, and now we're on the Mojave Road. We're going to dip our toes into Afton Canyon. Its nickname is Little Grand Canyon of the Mojave Desert. I've never seen anything quite like the cliffs in Afton Canyon. The Arbuckle Mine was located about 400 feet from the canyon floor and was a working magnesium mine until about 1918. there was a steep aerial tramway to carry the ore down the cliff and across the Mojave River to the railroad on the other side. Afton Canyon was really cool, but our real destination was to the east, and the days are short this time of year, so the rest of the canyon would have to wait for another time. We jumped back onto the Mojave Road and headed east.
This is crazy.
Joe wants to show us how his Bronco can turn on a dime with the trail turn assist feature.
Is it working? Hey, it is.
What are you talking about? Can you get a tight circle like that?
I can try.
Go for it.
The first part of this trail was a lot of fun. It was really cool. Sandy, wash, pretty fun, cruising along. Some little whoop-de-doos and stuff like that that we had to avoid if we could, but it was nice and wide to avoid them. But now we're on a trail that looks like this. And those whoops are unavoidable. So we're taking it pretty slow here. Otherwise you just bottom out hard. The whoops are like so deep. And Brian pulling the poor trailer back there, it's got to be rough going with the trailer and the hitch and stuff like that, going through things that are up and down and up and down. So we're kind of cruising along and making the best time we can, but it's pretty slow going at this point in the trail. We're at a place called Traveler's Monument. I didn't know what it was called, but you got to come check it out. I can't tell you what the plaque says because you have to see it for yourself. It's a thing, right? It's bad juju if I tell you what it says. So you got to come read it for yourself. If you get a chance to come out here, Traveler's Monument, come check it out. You will not be disappointed. Yep. Pretty cool, huh, sweetie?
Yeah.
It's awesome. I think we're getting close to the end of the trail for today, and we'll probably be looking for camp, but I don't think this playa right here is going to be campable. It's pretty haggard. And so we're going to look for a couple of other places and see what we can find. There's actually a ghost town over here, but I don't think we're going to go there because you can only access it from a highway, and we're not heading to the highway. So stay tuned, we'll see what happens next. You know, usually I don't want any wind, but right now I'm kind of wishing there was a little wind blowing the dust off the trail so that Joe and Brian didn't have to drive through that.
Soda Lake Playa is a dry lake at the terminus of the Mojave River. The lake has standing water during wet periods, and the water can be found beneath the surface. Soda Lake, along with Silver Lake, are what remain of the large perennial Holocene Lake Mojave. The sun set on us pretty quickly, but here we are again with an amazing campsite in the desert. This time, we can actually see the lights of Interstate 15 as people make their way between Southern California and Las Vegas. It provides quite a contrast, but I have to say, I really prefer camping over the Vegas Strip any day.
What are we making?
Tacos.
What kind of tacos?
It's a concoction.
A concoction?
It
Wait,
is.
you gotta...
Sorry.
Okay, what are we making?
Tacos.
Wait, hang on, get mine on so it lights you up. What
Alright.
kind of tacos?
So it's a mixture.
Of?
Like ground bison,
Okay,
wild boar chorizo,
okay.
ground lamb.
Ground lamb.
Yep.
So there's 3 meats in this.
There is.
Holy cow, that's gonna be amazing.
And then special taco seasoning.
And special taco seasoning? Is it a secret? Maybe? Cooper, you good boy? You hungry? Kai, are you hungry? You already ate. You ate dinner already.
Chips and salsa?
Oh, baby. I need, oh my God, chips and salsa? All right.